But you know what's most important? That you don't deadlift like crap anymore. So let's talk about this. The first thing is going to be the fundamentals, okay? The fundamentals are going to be simple basics that a lot of people don't understand and things that just necessarily probably need to be covered right out the gate. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is when you go down into when you come up to the bar, you want to start about a half an inch away from the bar or touching the bar with your shins. As you drop down, you'll notice the bar rolling forward. As I come down, I want to bring my chest up while taking the slack out of the bar by bending the bar in half over my legs like this, or putting my shoulder blades into my back pocket. What that does is make a slight noise. You may or may not hear it. That takes the slack out of the bar. Keep your chest up, hips high, pull. To explain the hips high thing, what that means is when you go down to the bar like so, don't squat down to the bar. You want to come down to the bar while your chest is up and your hips have tension. That way they can be, your hamstrings can be an actual mover in the exercise. Number 2 is common issues. We have ramming, hitching, and unfolding. So when I come down, obviously I'm going to start here. If I'm ramming, a lot of the times people come here, they lean back, and then they unfold. That is ramming. So to not do that, don't lean back. You want to remember this right in front of you, right over the middle of your foot, or basically in the middle of your body, is going to be your center of gravity. You want to keep the bar there as much as humanly possible. If it floats back or forward, it becomes more hard to complete the lift. So the big tip there is just come straight up. Straight up. You don't need to lean back unless you're in strongman. Next thing is going to be hitching, okay? Hitching is what this looks like right here. You get it here, and you're like pulling up like that, and then you're pulling down. Basically what that means is usually some kind of weakness right there in the middle point, or you got really fat legs. Like the front of your legs are really sticky or fat. Use baby powder on the front of your legs. Don't get it on your hands. It is the opposite of chalk, okay? Try that. Also try to do maybe some hip thrusts or some kind of single leg bridges or something like that to bring up the glutes. You might have is an unfolding problem. This is what unfolding looks like, okay? So you come down, you get here, somebody gets right here, and then they have to unfold. Now, if you saw the starting position, instead of having my chest up, I started rounded. So when I got here, I was like, my shoulders got to go back. What the hell do I got to do? I have to pull through. And a lot of the times that comes by unfolding. So really, really stop doing that. Keep your chest up. Right before you pull, glance over, but really push, grab the bar, push your chest out, and it's almost next to impossible to have a rounded upper back. You need a light day to be able to practice technique. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing when it comes to exercise, specifically the deadlift, maybe you have a heavy deadlift day, but you probably need a technique day or a deadlift accessory day. But I would recommend probably more have a technique day. So maybe like 3 sets of 5 with like 50% of your 1 rep max or your estimated 1 rep max, and try to work on making sure they look clean. Don't bounce the weight. Really focus on every single repetition looking like it was beautiful. The big reason is because no matter what you do, doesn't matter what you do, when you are pulling a 1 rep max, it's next to impossible for that technique not to break down. But if the technique is absolute shit and it breaks down, you're fucked. There's no way that in any way that you can actually still be able to pull it off if your technique is broke down from the beginning. So make sure you have a technique lighter day to be able to work on it. Number 4, you're rushing your setup, but you're messing around between sets. I see that so often. People are rushing through their sets. They come over and they're like, all right, I got to walk over the deadlift bar. It's about 2 minutes. Let me pick it up. Oh, it didn't come. I put it down. And then they're chit-chatting for 10 minutes, playing around on their phones, not really paying attention. I'll tell you what I do in between sets. Unless somebody approaches me at a public gym, which I try to be friendly and stuff, so it's good advertisement. So I try to be really nice or whatever. But a lot of the times, if it's a really heavy day, I say, look, I got to hit this set. I'll talk to you in a little bit. I apologize. And I will sit there with my headphones on, and I'll just think obsessively about my technique, how the set before it went. Did it go bad? Did it go good? Am I needing to adjust something? Did I grip it wrong? Did I grab the bar right? And it's not like I'm worrying about it. It's just I'm adapting based on what just happened. So my setup may change 3 or 4 times throughout that process because I'm rushing. I didn't grab the bar right. I really have a left hand grip issue. So I got to make sure I get a real crank down on it. And usually if I crank down on it really good, I'm good. Sometimes I get in my head and I think, oh yeah, I got this. I can do it in my fingers. And if it's 500, 600, yeah, I can. But 7, no way. So really take your time and don't rush. And in between sets, shut the hell up. Number 5, you're copying other people's stance, okay? First of all, if your legs are open like this, you're not coming in my fucking gym, all right? We only do conventional deadlifts here. And you might go, well, what if I pull more sumo? Cool. Go with your chick friends and do it. It's not happening in this gym. But realistically, you go, people are going to go, oh, there's benefits to sumo. Not if you're a man. Pull conventional. Don't be a puss, all right? But realistically, all bullshit aside, don't copy somebody. If Dan Griggs is pulling sumo, dude, the guy's pulling like 1,070 in competition. If Jamal Browner's hitting 1,003 in competition, sumo, that's great. If sumo works for you, fucking pull sumo. If a frog stance works for you, pull frog stance. If conventional works for you, pull conventional. It is truly about pulling the most weight possible. Test some different things. Test sumo hybrid. Test conventional. Test stupid close stance. Find out where you're strongest and build on it. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Don't copy somebody else just because you think they're cool or anything like that. And I only know a few people. I don't really pay attention to that shit. Stop putting too much stuff on that. So we're all done, all right? You should have some shit now that makes your fucking deadlift not suck so bad. Your technique sucks so bad, all right? And I'm not saying like I know everybody or whatever, but if you're watching this video, chances are you probably don't feel that great about your fucking deadlift stance. That's cool. It's one of the first exercises that I really started working with compound. And I would say maybe I've been deadlifting, I don't know, a little over 10 years, but competitively 3, maybe 4 years. I hit 725. I'll post that video here so you guys can see it at the end. It takes time. The first time I ever did actual competition deadlift, my first competition, it was 600. It's only moved like 100 pounds. That might not seem like a lot. So understand, it takes a while, okay? It takes a while. I did hit, when I first started trying to bring my deadlift up, it was like 400. And in 8 weeks, I brought it to 500. So you do get significant gains along the process. But I will say my deadlift was way more accelerated than everything else because I wasn't training bench, I wasn't training squat, but I was training deadlift. So my deadlift was already further. So don't compare yourself to that. Oh shit, in 4 years I'm only going to go up 100 pounds. You got to realize 600 to 706, 600 is not nothing. But along the process of that, I've taken probably 15 state records in that 600 to 700 range. And when I hit 706, that was my first national record. So maybe it doesn't seem like a lot of weight, but you got to realize as a drug-free athlete, it kind of is. So it's okay. Relax. Don't worry about the numbers so much. Understand they'll come up over time. Honorable mentions. When you deadlift, you want to deadlift with your shoes off. I'm not deadlifting right now, but shoes off. Why? Because if your heels are up, it pulls you forward when you have weight in front of you, and that's just stupid, okay? Or you can get like a deadlift slipper. I'll put some in the link in the description below. The next thing is when it gets really heavy, mix your grip. So when it's light, you can go double overhand. When it gets heavier, the weight will not actually come off the floor unless you mix your grip. Your body's telling you, what the fuck are you doing? Like that, no, don't do that. And then when you mix your grip and it goes, oh yeah, I got this, and then it can go. And then eventually, obviously, you won't be able to pick it up anyway because it's just too damn heavy. Next thing is chalk. Chalk helps when it gets heavier. Once it's like above 70% of your 1 rep max or something like that, it's probably a good idea to mix your grip and use chalk. I'll put that in the link in the description below. Like I said before, baby powder. If you got fat legs or you're bulking, your quads poke out a little bit, they create friction. So when you get past the knee, you'll grind. That baby powder can help you go. Silicone grease works pretty good too. We used that the other day. I don't know why, but whatever. People being around watching you deadlift helps immensely. An audience, whether it's a public gym, whether it's your people in your gym watching you, cheering you on or something like that, that shit gives you an instant boost. I promise you. If you don't have that, video yourself. Because if you know damn well you're going to put this shit on the internet and somebody else is going to see it, you're going to try harder to not make it look like you're a pussy, but also make it look easier, make it look better because it's going to be displayed in front of people. So that can be another tip. Pre-workout, huge fucking thing. I'll put a link in the description below. Ammonia capsule, ampules I like right now. You can finally find them again since stuff is over or whatever. They work really good for like top sets. Don't use them on all your sets. Don't overdo it. Hit them when you need it, when it's 90% or a PR or something like that. Don't be hitting them on 135. Make me sick. Don't do that stuff. PRs don't make you strong. Last thing. PRs don't make you strong, okay? PRs only display the strength that you've worked on over the last 4, 8, 12, 16 weeks. I will say doubles, triples, singles, all of those things. What? I know you want my love, all right, baby? This is Oliver. Hello. Say hello, Oliver. They don't make you stronger. Doubles, triples, singles, even up to 5, 4, and 5, those make you stronger. But most important, you do have to pull some heavy singles occasionally because it is an art getting halfway and then really knowing that you can rip through and actually keep pulling. It is an art that you have to work on understanding how to get through. That being said, be safe, wear a belt. I'll put in the link in the description below. Chalk, ammonia, a belt, pre-workout, baby powder, deadlift shoes, all of those things that I think are necessary. Guess what? You could probably get them all for 50 to 100 bucks. I am curious, what the hell is your deadlift PR? See, goodbye.